Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon. Just here, episode 6. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Oh, dude, we're officially on iHeartRadio um, and a whole lot of the other podcast apps. I put in my application for Apple Podcasts, so we might be on Apple Podcasts soon. Yeah, let's get it. All right, we're fucking making moves. You know what I'm saying? We making moves. Um, so this podcast is going to be a little bit about sales. Let me get rid of this shit. I was just doing some tests. So we're doing this about sales. So if you are tired of losing your clients in store or on like your social media app, the website, emails, there's a specific way that you want to talk to your customers and lead them through the buying stages so they can feel very comfortable, they can drop their guard, and so they can build trust with you, the sales guy. That way that you can help them feel comfortable about spending as much money out of their pockets as they want. Because, like I was saying the other day, there's you have no idea how much a person actually has in their bank account, in their savings account, their checking account. You have no idea how much money they have in crypto, in assets. They could have just sold a car and they're saving their money for like a purple bed or a Traeger or tires. Like you have no idea what they're saving their money for. And then they run into you, and then you convince them to drop that 2,000, 8,000, $25,000 on a vehicle, on an ad for their business, on on a new pair of sneakers. You know what I'm saying? Like those new Kanye's. God, those are expensive, but everyone says they're comfy as fuck. They're like bougie. They're like the man's shoes. Really comfy is what they look like. Everyone that's a baller has those. Like, Jesus Christ. This dude came in with two mismatched pairs. Like his left shoe was red, his right shoe was gray. Like, what the hell, you fucking baller? And he had like, I don't know, it was crazy. Like his whole outfit was just kind of like he didn't really dress well, but he had them nice ass shoes though, bro. You know what I'm saying? And he came and he bought a cheap ass banger. What the fuck? So the first thing is like, so let's take this new Delta variant for an example, right? So MSNBC, CNN, the mainstream media that's on like television, which is dying. Like the fuck, people are getting their news from like everything but them. CNN has like less than 1 million viewers now. They're going to like an 8 hour news service instead of a 24 hour news service. It's crazy. World's changing, man. World's changing. So like they're just blasting the same articles out every single day, all throughout the day. And that just shows you that by showing the same commercials with different words, has a higher efficiency rate than just putting out different types of sales. You feel? So if you are running a sale for the entire month for specific products and you just blast that same item out there every single day with a different ad clip on your social medias, you're going to have a phenomenal, like a way better outcome than you would just by posting it once. And so that's the difference from organic and paid. Is paid, depending on how much money you put into it, you're going to be getting um, that commercial is going to be seen by a fuck ton of people, a whole lot of people. Whereas if you just put um, organic and you post it once, and you expect that to have results throughout the whole month, like you're not going to get that many results. It's like fly fishing. You got to keep throwing it out, and then eventually you'll get a bite. And so, is what I personally do is I have a lot of energy, and recently through like everything that's going on, like I've been kind of like stagnant. I I just been thinking a lot, and I just been like I guess hibernating, because there's just so much chaos going on in the world, and like I don't know, it's weird, man. It's really weird. Everything's so strange. But like with the Delta variant, they're just blasting it out, and then the CDC director's talking about we're gonna go on lockdown again. Let me find this. this picture. Um, this is from the Oregonian on Twitter. Masks, vaccines could stop Delta variant spike within 2 weeks, CDC director says. This was posted on Twitter by the Oregonian, um, at Oregonian on 7/29/21. And like, so they already told us that in the very beginning, but like, you know, it ended up being like a year and a half of lockdowns. So I predict a new stage of lockdowns coming, especially with this new tax coming out for driving per mile. It's going to be they're just taxing the poor. This isn't going to affect like the rich people. So like anyone that makes like 200,000, 150,000 a year, it's not really going to affect them. I'm going to be doing a lot of research on it today and reading and finding out like what's in the bill. So I'll try and be back on the next show to give you guys more relevant information. But I was just using the whole COVID um, uh, media machine to kind of give you an example of how blasting your marketing every day can coerce a community to purchase your goods. So it's going to be a sales pitch. It's all going to be about sales and how people in your store or on your website you can get more transactions. So specifically people in your store, you always want them to feel good and comfortable. And so building a baseline with your foundation of customer service, that's what you want. So no matter what kind of sales you're in, whether you're selling tires, you're selling mechanic parts, you're fixing people's vehicles, you're selling bongs, you're selling phones, you always want the best customer service. And that's going to allow people to feel very comfortable and trusting with you. It's hard to trust a salesperson these days because they're wrong a lot of the time. They don't know what they're talking about and they'll pull answers out of their ass. And the worst thing you want is someone that's just making up answers on the fly. And that's why our country is the way it is because our politicians just pull answers out of their ass during a 2 minute debate and then they just fucking lie just to get votes. And in my business, all the businesses that I've ever worked at, we don't lie to get sales. We're honest. You know what I'm saying? And that's that's what that's what people need is honesty, and that's what people buy from, and that's what people trust. That's why deals are made. When shady deals are made, you have the crap that's going on now. The the Atlantic Ocean, that big current. I think it's called the AMOC, the AMOC or some shit. No, it's not that. I don't know. I forget what it's called. But the Atlantic current that goes from America up to like Europe, that's slowing down, and they're saying it's like super slowing down, which is going to change weather currents. And it could be from us. It could be natural. Who the fuck knows? All I know is Elon, bro, let's go to Mars, baby. Let's get it. So when it comes to sales, you want your customers to feel comfortable. So like the best way to do it is to greet them and welcome them in, and then if it's you just ask them like, hey, what brings you in today? You know what I'm saying? And they're gonna open up and they're gonna talk. And is what a lot of people do wrong is they'll start over talking their customers. And so when the customer's like, oh yeah, I'm just here to go get a new tire, and I think it's, and then when they say I think it's, the sales guy's like, yeah, well, let me go look at your truck, and they're like, oh no, it's a car. Oh, okay. You know what I'm saying? And like you just immediately interject and say the wrong thing. And just the smallest little things like that will deter the customer. It's all subconscious. Because like you have the conscious brain, which is thinking, talking, and then you have the subconscious brain, which is like it sends out signals and it picks up signals. And so it says, nope, strike one, strike two, strike three, you're out. It's like a woman and their shit test. You know what I'm saying? They shit test you and you fail them shit tests, and then you're in a deep trouble. And that's when arguing and conflict happens. You got to pass them shit tests. You feel? And so with with the subconscious cues, you have to wait for the customer to stop talking, and then you have to ask specific questions. So, like, I'm going to use my business, or let's do cell phones. I sell phones. So a customer come up, hey, I have an expensive bill. Can you help me? Yeah, absolutely, I can. That's the first thing is I acknowledge and I say, I can help you. But let me find some information first. Do you mind if I ask you several questions? And then you wait for the customer to respond. They're going to say, no, I don't have time. Okay, well, then I can't help you. I'm sorry. Um, I when you have time, come on back and I'll take care of you. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not rude. That's you answering a question. And if they don't want to give you any information, there ain't shit you can do about it except for okay, well, get at me when you want to, and I'll be here, and that's it. The number one negotiating skill you have as a human is the ability to walk away. If you don't like a deal, if you don't like a proposal, if you don't like a sales pitch, walk the fuck away. It's really easy. Like it's your money, you worked hard for it, and if a customer just wants to talk to you and they're taking your time away from sales, it's your time which is required to make money. If you're not making money in a sales position, or if you're not making money for a business, then you're no longer an asset. Like money, and it sounds cold for anyone that doesn't own a business and anyone that doesn't work in sales. If you're like a cashier or a construction worker, I mean it's the same thing. If you're not working with your team and you're not putting shingles up on a fucking roof and you're just sitting there drinking beers, running your mouth, I don't think the team's gonna like you, and the foreman's gonna rip your ass off the roof and send you home because you're wasting time that he's paying you for. You feel what I'm saying? Same thing with laying asphalt. Same thing with building buildings. Like that's just life. You have to work. That's what our 13 colonies were all about. If you're not putting in work for the 13 colonies, because no one got paid, everyone got fed and housed and protected. No one got paid during the 13 colonies. It was all housing and shelter and food and communion. That's all it was. If you got kicked out of the 13 colonies, you're in native territory. And you're asking to get skinned alive, or you're going to get killed by a bear or a cougar or a wolf. Like, who the fuck knows? Shit was crazy back then. Bunch of racist. So, like, you got oh yeah, so like if you're not putting up numbers, because money is the blood flow of every organization. It's just like humans need water to keep our blood flowing. You feel what I'm saying? If we don't have water, our blood's not going to work. And so you have your time, which is very valuable. So you need to be able to pick up and pick out who can be helped in what order that can keep everything going within the same time frame. So if you're in a store by yourself, it's like Walmart. If you guys don't know, Walmart's a giant organization, right? So let's look at their their warehouses. They're just big ass giant warehouses. You have department stores in these warehouses, and you typically have one employee per central department store. So you have one person that works clothing and baby food, right? And then you have one person that works electronics, and then you have people that work in the deli that are cutting food and doing whatever the fuck they do, making bread and shit. And then you have so like it's ran as a small business, and then you have uh, shelving people, people that stock the shelves, right? And those people can like tell you where to go because they stock shelves. But that's and then you have a couple cashiers, and then everything else is self checkout. And so that's what Walmart does is they represent themselves like a small business. There's a lot of small businesses like retail, where only one person's working the store because they don't make enough sales to be able to hire other employees and grow their business into multiple locations. Unless you have a franchise where like it's a really well-known brand and they got marketing, and like 40 to 60% of their sales revenue is paid into marketing to keep their machine growing big, because the more you market out to your customers, the more return you're going to be getting. And so with my business, owning a glass shop, like we sell pipes and bongs. So like we don't get the luxury of like paying for marketing. So I do it myself. And where was I going? Okay, so taking cell phones or taking anything, like the customer says, can I ask you a question? I need help with my phone bill. And then let's say they say yes. So, okay, great. Do you mind if I ask you a couple questions so I can help you find an answer? And they say, yeah, absolutely, go for it. All right, great. Um, what kind of what So let's just say they come into my store. All right, this is gonna be easier. So they come into my store, Inhale Bliss, and uh, I greet them. Hey, welcome in, bro, or ma'am, miss, pimp, depending if it's a regular or a new customer. But let's say it's a new customer. Hey, welcome in, man. Hey, they're like, oh, hi. Hey, can I grab your ID from you? And the reason I do that is it bounces. It makes me the bouncer, and so I bounce them real quick so that they know that I mean business. And so let me grab your ID real quick. Like it looks like I'm throwing up a gang sign, but like this, this is the universal sign for give me your motherfucking ID, bitch. I need to check it to make sure that you're eligible to even be in my store. It's like a bouncer at a club. ID. You can do this to anyone, and they're always gonna go for their ID. And you look at their hip, like right around their dick area, or their pussy area, or their booty, or their hips. You just say, "I need your ID." And you're like, "Oh, okay." Bam. You get it. Boom. Okay, cool. As long as they're of age, give it back. Welcome in. What brings you in today? And they're like, I'm after a water pipe. I'm like, oh, bong. Yeah, you want a bong? Okay, we got lots of bongs. And they're usually like, you can say the B word here? You're not gonna get in trouble? Like, no, I own this. I own Inhale Bliss. We got bongs on the windows. Literally, I got a banner. I got like banners on my windows that say bongs, exotic munchies, dab rigs, smart rigs, e-nails, and bangers. Like, yeah, we got bongs on the window. We literally have bongs in display in the window as well. It's really cool. And so then I show them the store. Ask, have you ever shopped with us before? Because obviously they're like aghast that we can say bongs in my shop, and of course they'll say no or yes. But this, no, never shopped, never, just heard about you guys. Oh, cool. And then like you want to ask, you want to like build rapport, right? So first you're acknowledging their existence for coming into your realm, right? And then you ask them what brings them in today, right? Like how can I help you today? What brings you in today? And what brings you in today is like honestly, it's really powerful and strong because um they it's an open-ended question that allows them to, because if you say how can I help you, like they could just need like a flat tire fixed, you know what I'm saying? It could be like super random ADD like squirrel, you know what I'm saying? Like, so you ask, what brings you in today? They're going to tell you, and you say, okay, great. I can help with that. And you take them. So like I show them the store. Well, we got all of our bongs here, and then we have bongs here. By the way, have you shopped with us before? Oh, no, I've never shopped with you before. Oh, cool. How'd you hear about us? And then I acknowledge that they've never shopped with us and I'm interested. So I ask, how did you hear about us? And they're going to tell me from a friend. They follow my social media channels. They've seen us on Google, seen us on Yelp. They may have heard the podcast, and so they wanted to come in. Who knows? Like, there's the answers. There's so many answers. So they'll tell you, and you're like, "Oh, dude, thank you so much. That's really cool. Well, we appreciate your support." And so we have bongs here. We have super beautiful heady bongs, and then I'll start breaking down. Like, I'll ask them, "Are you into like just basic? Are you looking for something really pretty or colorful?" When it comes to bongs, you kind of, because like a bong has a personality with the person. Like me, I like to collect specific bongs that like the piece sells me pretty much. Versus electronics, where like I need the highest end electronics. When it comes to my glass collection, it's art. You feel? So it's like the best way to gauge someone with art is to kind of like ask them questions about like size. Are you looking for something smaller? Like is it a size thing or is it a function thing? Are you after a dab rig? Because a lot of people use a dab rig as a bong, which is like or a bong as a dab rig, which is kind of silly. Like, you don't want to do that. You're paying for terps. You're paying for all that oil. You do not want a banger inside a bong because your oil, when you're dabbing that, let's say you got some fire ass hash rosin that costs you like 120 bucks, some bubble hash, you know what I'm saying? And you're dabbing that, that's just gonna build reclaim in your bong. And if you got like a triple honeycomb Chinese fucking 22-inch bong, you're just gonna be building reclaim up in that bitch, and you ain't even gonna be able to taste the flavor. Like, it's silly. Stop doing that. So I recommend getting a dab rig. The smaller the dab rig, way better the flavor. And like, we got some Chinese dab rigs at the shop. This is not a paid sponsor, but Inhale Bliss is my sponsor. They allow us to get the equipment required so that we can bring you the absolute best entertainment quality available here in the Treasure Valley. Located in Nampa, Idaho, downtown, 124 13th Ave, South Nampa, Idaho. Inhale Bliss. Also inhalebliss.net to check out some of our American-made and Chinese-made glass. I'm going to be building commercials as well, so just you wait. We're also going to be on Apple Podcasts. I don't know if I said that. Right now we're on iHeartRadio as well. Big shout out to the Heart, bitches. We applied to all of them except Spotify won't take it because I got my goofy looking face up on this. They don't take MP4s at the moment. So with that being said, you want a smaller dab rig for better flavor, and you want bongs. The taller the bong, the smoother the rip's gonna be. Or you can get a bong that has an insane amount of percolation in it, so you can have super smooth rips. Like, hold on, I'll pull my bong. So if you're watching, it's dirty. Like, I need it to get a little bit more dirty so I can demonstrate how Resolution Gel cleans. And that's probably, so yeah, just hang tight. So don't you judge, but here's how it rips, okay? So this is my big, beautiful bong. That's not soap. That's just bubbles. Oh, that was just pure dirty water. Oh my god. I ooh, tastes like shit. Clean your bongs. Makes it taste so nasty if you don't. But like, I like bongs like that. I personally like scientific bongs, or if I'm getting like a piece for like to enhance my collection a little bit, just give me a moment. I'll show you this next one. I want something pretty like this. You see what I'm saying? Pretty dirty. Again, I keep them dirty. My employee was talking shit. He's like, bro, your collection is so fucking nasty. But I do it on purpose. That way, I can demonstrate our cleaning solutions. And then when it comes to collection pieces, you know what I'm saying? This guy's made by Dabber Jaws. And so this is, oh, let me get it. Bam. This is a collector's piece. It's made by Dabber Jaws, and it's collabed with Happy Time Glass. And so glass can get really fucking expensive. So this is, it looks almost fake. It's an like it's a shredder. This piece is so fucking crazy. Check this out. It's the tornado. It's called a recycler. Um, so like with me, I like shit that's unique personally, and so what I like and what other people like is totally different. Like we're all humans living the same life with different experiences, and so you don't ever want to assume that someone likes the same shit that you like because you'll lose the sale if you just force one thing on a person and you don't give them options. Then they're really not gonna like, unless they're a really bad buyer and they're not smart with their buying skills, then like you're usually going to turn them off. And so is what I do is I do my best to give my customers a plethora of options that way that they can choose And then it gives the employees, the glass specialists of mine, and myself the ability to aim the customer in a direction that they need to be in. And so I'll ask the customer, like, are you looking for something pretty, or are you just looking for something basic to get the job done? Or are you looking for something with like a lot of function? And so you really want to keep your questions down to like 2 or 3 questions. Especially if they're after a bong, you just point them towards the bongs, and then most of the time I'll just kind of like let them be. But if they're new to my shop, I'll give them the full Inhale Bliss experience, where like I'll walk them around the store and I'll pull out the most expensive bong and be like, "You ever seen a bong like this?" They're like, "Oh my god, how much is that? Like $2,000?" Like, no, this guy's like $8,000. And they're like, "What? Get the fuck out!" I'm like, "Yeah, dude, you want to see a function?" They're like, "Oh, yeah." I shine some light on it because it's got crushed opal all over, and it's just so fucking pretty. So I'll pull it out and be like, "Check this out." And it rips almost like that, but better. And it's called the V3 Dub by Seed of Life. So it's got like the lace sphere perk, and then it's got the oversized lace perk on top. And so it's just bubbles for like fucking 22 inches. Yeah, she wants 22 inches, doesn't she? So like, and they're like, "Oh my god, that's so pretty, but way out of my price range." And that's a great way to gauge a customer's price range, because if a customer tells you about their price range first, that's the only time you should ask, "Well, what's your price range?" That's no problem. We have bongs and dab rigs. We have everything in your budget. And they're like, well, I can only spend $3,000 today." You're like, "Cha-ching!" But then you lose it, and they don't buy anything because you fucking suck. And that's what you were telling yourself, and that's why you jumped on this fucking podcast, because you're like, "Boss, they told me that they had $3,000 to spend, and I fucking lost it. I just need to quit. I suck." And your boss is like, "Yeah, because I could have closed that. My 6-year-old son could have closed that. The fucking cat walking down the street could have fucking closed that, you fucking loser." And that's how you feel when you lose sales that are just like, fuck, how? What did I do? Maybe it's because I burped in their face. It's probably because you started swearing before they're swearing, because you're like, "Oh, trying to bust a nut before it's even closed." Never swear unless the motherfucking customer invites you to swear. And if you can't handle my fucking swearing, well, then you're going to have to get used to it, because that's what I do. But I don't swear until my customer invites me to swear. And if you've never heard that before, what that means is when the customer swears first, they're inviting you to swear. If the customer does not swear during the entire interaction, don't you dare fucking cuss around them, because it'll turn them off. No matter what your sales environment is, there's still a professional level. And the professional level is you want to match psyches and you want to match energies with the customer that you're with. Because like we said before, you never judge a person by what they look like, and you never judge a person by what they're wearing, and you never judge them by what they're driving. You never judge your customers. I got customers that have fucking super expensive everything, but their smoking equipment is fucking cheap as shit because they either break it or they don't give a fuck about it. Like they're not a collector. And that's fine. Like, you don't have to be a glass collector. You can just want a bong, and we got that. Or you can just want a cheap ass banger, and we got that. But the better the banger, like the more expensive the banger, the better the heat retention is going to be, and the better the washing period is going to be, both before creation and after creation of the quartz banger, which is going to prevent it from oxidizing fast. Oxidizing is when people think it's when it's chaz, when it's black, but that's chazzed bangers. That's just like burnt carbon that's stuck on your shit that you never cleaned off, which I'll show you a really cool way how to do that to fix it. But and then there's oxidization, and yeah, you can bring a Chaz banger back to life, bitch. Like, you absolutely can. Just keep posted for my tutorial on how to do that. And so you got oxidization, which you can't bring back to life. Oxidization is when there's two when the banger turns cloudy and it no longer holds heat for very long and it takes for fucking ever to get hot. So when the customer tells you, so you don't want oxidized bangers, you want to go Joel Halen, Long Island Courts, Higher Education, Evan Shore bangers, of course, Toro, and those are like the five best quartz bangers companies, but you're spending $100 plus because they're American made. If you go Chinese, inconsistencies. Because that's China. Inconsistent. The only thing they're consistent of is stealing our information. Look it up, bitch. That ain't racist. That's just true. The CCP. I love China and I love Chinese food, so I can't be racist. With the what's it called? So she has 3 racks. She has $3,000. You're like, great. So are you looking for what do you have in your collection right now? That's a really good question to ask. Cool. What do you have in your collection right now? That way you can get them interactive. They can pull up photos. Do you have any pictures? Do you have any function videos? And then you want to talk like 20%. So for the whole conversation length, you want to talk 20% and you want them to talk 80%. And if you're new to sales or if you're in sales now and you're like, dude, I hear that all the time. They tell me that, but like, what the fuck does that even mean? It's like when you're a little ass kid and someone's like, tie your shoe. And you look at your shoe and you're like, how? What? Okay. And then you like try and you're like, oh, I can't do it. But then you can tie your shoe really easy now, right? You know what I'm saying? The best way to gauge the 80-20 rule is in the moment. That's the best way to live life also, is just in the moment. Just be present. Just be here now. But I'll give you an example of what that means. Before I got all this equipment in here, I'm supposed to be doing it at my store, but I have equipment that's got on a delay that I'm waiting for, so I don't feel comfortable doing it at my store at the moment. And to have conversation and have a flow state, you need to be in a comfortable environment. So with me and a fuck ton of other people that have said the same thing is, if you have an idea and you have all of this energy for this idea, but you're not putting an effort to make the idea a reality, it'll build anxiety and fear and stress, because as a man, our testosterone makes us feel good when we do things. And so I'm so used to that feeling because I'm like, what, 30 plus, you know what I'm saying? So like it's kind of like instilled in my DNA and my genes and my habit wheel. When I have an idea, I need to put forth and try it, and I need to do it, and I need to see if it's for me, because I'm a hands-on kind of person. So it was giving me a lot of fucking anxiety. And the other day I put out a post, do something that you're afraid of, because I just kept overthinking. I kept thinking about different possibilities and scenarios of how this whole thing can play out and how it can go. And it was freaking me the fuck out because I already knew how it's going to go. Day by fucking day. That's it. Just day by day. You just fucking take it day by day. But I had no way of doing it because I had all this shit in my store and it's just sitting there. And I'm like, what the fuck? I need to do this. You know what I'm saying? But I'm afraid. What if I do it in my room and it just, fuck all that shit. Just do it. Fuck your fears. You just fucking do it until you're done being afraid. And then you become fucking confident. You know what I'm saying? That's all it is. You're just not confident. So when it comes to gauging your 80-20 rule of them talking 80% of the time, you talking 20% of the time, that also means you're going to be listening 80% of the time, and they're going to be listening the 20% of the time. You feel? Does that make sense to you? Replay it so you can make sense of it. Now, they are going to tell you things, and it's your job to pick up on sales cues and buying cues. Well, I'm here for a bong. Great. They said they are here for a bong. That's 6 words. Perfect. We got those. You feel what I'm saying? Follow me. Bam. So you telling them to follow you, that's them. That's like in a store or at a car lot. That's a leash. And like any of you guys, like, dude, like, so sales trainers will use analogies. They'll use dating analogies. They'll use political analogies. They'll use fishing analogies. They'll use fucking animal training analogies. They'll use all sorts of analogies just to make it make sense. And like, there's so many fucking snowflakes out there where when you start talking about dating analogies or dog analogies or like fucking political analogies, their head gets super red and they have no idea what to do because they're like so censored that if you bring up, it's like, so I got calluses all over my hands, right? And it's like, if you smack someone's hand that has never touched anything rough or hard a day in their life, their hand's gonna hurt. Okay, that's physical pain. And all the censorship that goes on in this country is taking those calluses off of people's brains, and when they get slapped with the word, it literally hurts their head. Like, it causes them internal pain. So there's mental pain and there's physical pain. You feel? We got a brain and we got a body, and it's a symbiote relationship. So like, it's my job to get them calluses on your brain. You feel what I'm saying? With that, so I use a lot of analogies. So don't if you're gonna take it the wrong way, leave. So it's called the leash. So you leash someone around the store, and that builds trust and that builds confidence that you know what the fuck you're doing, and it builds trust subconsciously with them that they're following you. That's a trust thing. If you're out in the woods and you randomly meet a stranger and you're like, "Hey, follow me," you're like, I'm going this way. I don't fucking know you. You know what I'm saying? And that's where it comes from. That's why someone following you is such a big trust thing, and that's why it builds so much trust and confidence within you and the customer, is because it goes all the way back to the fucking Stone Age, bitch. Like, it's really important. There's so many small things, small baby steps that lead up to a closed sale and a successful business. Look at Elon Musk. You feel what I'm saying? So, like, you want to lead them around the store just to a point. And so, like, these are the bongs. What kind of bong are you after? Okay, so we establish you have a $3,000 budget, and you just let them talk. And then you kind of like leave them alone. They'll give you cues of like, oh my God, what's that one? Ooh, what's that one? And they're really engaged with you. That means, don't you dare leave my side. I want you here the whole time through this buying process. And then there's, oh, I'm just going to look around. All right, cool. If you have any questions, feel free, yell at me. If you want to see anything function, just yell at me or my other glass specialist, and we'll get it pulled out and we'll get it taken care of for you, okay? And they're like, all right, great, cool, thanks. And then you do a follow-up after like 40 seconds to a minute and a half. Hey, just checking in. Is everything okay? Do you have any questions for me? And they'll be like, oh, no, I'm good. Oh, wait, actually, I do have a question, yeah. You know what I'm saying? And that's personally what I do. I walk around and do my own thing. And if I can't find it, or if I have questions, I'll ask people. I mug everyone, especially at Best. I hate Best Buy. But, like, I just have this resting bitch face. And that's just like, stay the fuck away from me. But when I'm ready to communicate with you, I will smile and I'll be, you know what? I'll be engaged. You feel what I'm saying? But if you're a shitty salesperson, I'm going to rip your ass in a store without actually like being a dickhead. Like the Walmart employee. He's helping these people buy prepaid phones. They're out of stock of the prepaid phone they want. He can't get them one because he has no way of like transferring it from another Walmart store. So there's that dead air for like maybe 5 to 10 seconds of the customers breaking complete. So like there's body language, and you have the hips, you have the toes, you have the shoulders, and you have the face. And if a customer completely moves that body language away from you, then if they move that body language away from you, They are not. You're out. You're out. Leave them the fuck alone. All right. Well, if you have any other questions, go and yell at me. I have some other customers in the store, and I'm gonna get them taken care of real quick. Okay. And they're like, okay, yeah, great. And then that's the proper way to do it. But this guy's like, I'm just going to stand here and hawk these people until they're ready to purchase, even if that takes an hour and a half, even though there's 9 customers inside the electronics section that's trying to buy something. And so I'm like, bro, this is going to take you guys like 30, 40 minutes to do, maybe 20. Anyways, 20 to 40 minutes to do. I just need a couple cables. They're behind the glass. Can I buy them real fast? And he's like, no, I'm with these customers. And then there's that dead space. And then I'm like, all right, well, ladies, do you mind if I just steal him real quick? Because I need to buy these. And you know what I'm saying? And they're like, yeah, no, we're actually, this is going to take us a while. So go, we're still looking. And then the guy's like, well, I'm the manager at Walmart. And so I have to help every customer in line as they come. It's like, get the fuck out of here. That's the worst thing you can ever do. It's not first come first. This ain't a restaurant. You know what I'm saying? This isn't McDonald's. We don't form lines when it comes to a sales position. Like, that's why people don't like to buy shit at Walmart. They always carry the cheap shit and you get the cheapest kind of customer service. That's why the retail experience is going to die, in my opinion. And that's why you're here, is so that you can learn how to be better. So when it comes to your customers and how to not lose that $3,000 sale, is if they have you and they're like, you're not leaving my side. Even if there are other customers in the store, if you're there by yourself, you still need to check in on the other customers. And the best way to do that so that you can multitask and not make people feel unappreciative, no matter how much money or how little money they're spending, every customer needs to be served. That's no matter what, they need to be served. And if you're the only one in the store, you can round everyone in the same spot and you just rodeo them. You just pull them all in and you do a demonstration and you bring them in. So if you're showing a bong, hey guys, dude, you guys want to see a super sick bong? And one of them might be a sourpuss. Nah, I'm good. I just want to buy one of these over here. All right, bet. Once I get done demoing this, I'm going to take care of you. Is that cool? Is that cool that I take care of them once I get done demoing this for you guys? And like, you bring the community of folks that you just lassoed in, except for Mr. Pouty Pout, who just needs to get in and get out. He might not be a Pouty Pout, you know what I'm saying? But like, you lassoed everyone in and you get all of their confirmation. Yeah, that's cool, dude. He just needs to get that. That's really cool. All right, check this out. And you're like, bro, yeah, this guy's only $300, or this guy's only $1,200, or this guy's only $90. You know what I'm saying? Like, what? And then you're like, all right, cool. I just got to put this back, lock the case. Bam. I'm going to help him, and I'll be right back with you guys, okay? And then if you have any questions, just yell at me. I'm really good at multitasking. And that's how you do it. That's how you keep everyone involved in your store, and you multitask and you bounce and you jump. That makes the day go by really quick. That makes your customers fucking tip. Like my store, we accept tips. Like, we're one of the only glass shops that actually accepts like credit card tips and cash tips. And it's like, I've talked to a lot of shop owners and they don't do that. Some of them do, most of them don't. And my employees get tipped like a motherfucker. And it's because we provide that kind of experience. Like, we make sure to help out the person that's going to have the fastest checkout. That way they can just be in and out, man. No one wants to hang out in a business when they're just there to buy something. And other people like to hang out in our business to look at the beautiful art that we do have in the store. And like, so we have clients from all fucking walks of life, man. Homeless people up to fucking ballers, like lawyers. Like, it's fucking crazy. And so like, help out the dude. Hey man, thank you so much for your patience. Appreciate your support, brother. What was it that we're getting in here? He's like, yeah, I need to get this. And then depending on how the atmosphere is or what he's thinking, cool. You find out the size, the angle, what it is that he's getting. Bam. Was there anything else you need to get with this? Was there like a carb cap or a poker, cleaners? You want to do things in threes. Threes are the most stable way, because like the brain holds information really weird, right? The brain's a big, weird fucking muscle. And I know the power of three is what you want. So you ask them like three quick questions. Was there anything else you wanted to get? Did you need this, this, or that? And they're like, oh yeah, bam, I did need that. Thanks, man. And we say that for two things. One, we're all fucking forgetful. You ever go to the grocery store and you're hungry and you just start fucking grabbing everything on the shelf and eating it there in the store, and then you're like, fuck, I'm such a piece of shit. I'm so fucking gluttonous. I don't deserve it. I do. When I'm hungry, I hate shopping hungry. Oh my God, I just fucking buy everything. And then I just like have it in the cupboard. And I'm like, I'm never going to eat this. Fucking Doritos. What the fuck were you thinking, you piece of shit? Oh. And so like we ask, is there anything else we can get for, or is there anything else you needed? And then we mention off a couple common things, or because nobody wants to smoke out of a dirty ass fucking bong. It's disgusting. It doesn't taste good and it hurts. Okay. It hurts. It hurts to look at and it hurts to taste. And then, like, we also forget when we're in the store at the moment, because there's a bajillion things going on where they see all of this stuff at my shop. And they're like, oh, pretty. Oh, I want that. Oh, but my bank account, I can't. I promised my booth thing I wouldn't buy a new fucking dab rig today. But he did need cleaner. And so, yeah, bro, I do need cleaner. Bam, thank you so much. Cool. And then there we go. It's done. And then I go back to, since the big baller that has a $3,000 spending limit, she took up most of my time. So I'm going to go back to the other crowd. Darling, just give me a quick moment. I'm going to check in on these folks and I'll be right with you, okay? She's like, oh, yeah, I'm having fun. You take your time. Boom. You just do a check-in real quick. As long as you give 5 to 15 second explanation of why you are leaving them and devoting your time to somebody else, those people will give you 5 minutes to an hour and a half waiting for you. It's all about expectation setting, and it's all about being honest and doing your best to take care of their needs. You feel what I'm saying? No one likes to be lied to. No one likes to be stood up. No one likes to be ghosted. No one likes to be just fucking manipulated. So as long as you're honest and true with your intentions in the sales floor, and even if you don't have all the answers, like it took me like fucking 12 years to get all of these answers of like bongs and dab rigs. When I was in the shop, I knew some basic shit when I first opened my business. But when I first opened I didn't know shit. I didn't know absolutely shit. Knew nothing. I knew what a bong was, and I didn't even know what a ground joint was. Someone told me a ground joint back in like 2016. I'm like, bro, joint? Like, I don't think we can say joint in my store. It's like, no. A ground joint. It's what the bowl slides into. It's called a ground joint. And I'm like, are you sure? Yeah, that's what a ground joint is. But the where was it going with that? Oh yeah, so you check in on your customers and you give them 5 to 15 seconds on why you're leaving them, on a handoff with a change of face, on why you're checking in on another customer. Always 5 to 15 seconds, and those people will wait for you because it's polite and it's nice and it's very friendly and it's honest, and that's just what people want. That's all we want is honesty and integrity, man. That's it. So, bam, you checking on these folks. How are you guys doing? Do you have any questions? Oh yeah, bro. We want to get this. We want to get that. We want to get this. And they've had the whole time to already shop and build their list. So it's just gonna be quick. All right, cool. Yeah, super easy. Bam, bam. Is there anything else you guys wanted to get? Any cleaners? Yeah, dude, I heard you talking about cleaners with the other dude. And then like, because people have ears and shoppers aren't stupid. Like, just because they have like $100,000 to go buy a fucking RV and they're 65 years old doesn't mean they're stupid. They're probably smart as fuck. They're just trusting you to do the right thing to help them buy shit with their money. That's what salespeople are there for, to help. That's our whole fucking job, is to serve. And like that's the way that I see it. Is we're just like, especially at my business, we are literally the customer's hands. That's all we are. That's what I train my employees, because like, customers ain't supposed to be touching glass. Tink, tink. Tink. That's all you hear when customers touch the glass and all the doors are open and they have access to all the glass. All you're going to hear is tink, 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 tink. That's it. And you're like, stop it. This is our shit. You're in here because you broke it. Like, oh, I know. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, fuck. We're literally the customer's hands. And so, like, the best way to sell is just be fucking chilling in the moment and just ask questions and answer the questions and then build rapport. Like, oh, dude, so you want to buy a truck, bro? What are you going to be using the truck for? Oh, just streeting. Okay, cool. So we have a whole bunch of options on trucks. So do you mind if I ask you a couple questions? Yeah, bro, go for it. Awesome. So, and then as he's asking him questions, he's walking him. And the car guy is going to take you by 3 cars or 3 trucks. The most expensive badass motherfucker on the lot that's like a fucking $125,000 truck. And then he's going to take you by the fucking $45,000 truck. And then he's going to take you down to the T2000 Toyota, probably a $4,500 truck with like 300,000 miles on it. Yeah, Toyota's a shit. And he's going to be like, yeah, this bad boy going to do everything for you. You want to pull a fucking 5-ton trailer. You can do that with a quad turbo. You know what I'm saying? And like, he's going to ask you a bunch of questions, and then he's going to tell you stats and specs on the truck itself. And then when the dude's trying to ask about prices, he ain't really going to tell you about prices. You're going to see the sticker, but you're not going to talk about price. And if he's a good car sales guy, he's not going to talk to you about price until you're inside sitting down with them. That's it. Because, like, they don't talk price in the lot. They're bad car salespeople if they are. So if that's what you're doing, you need to stop that. You talk cars, you talk rapport out on the lot, you talk money inside when you're sitting down. And like the sales guy, especially if there's 2 people, there's a couple or a family, like the wifey and the hubby, like, bro, they're gonna be talking because this is a big investment. You feel what I'm saying? And so when you're done showing the cars, you want to do the test drive. Cool. Which one do you guys want to test drive? Oh, yeah, I knew you was going to want to test drive that big, sexy truck. All right, I'm going to go grab them keys. I'll be right back. Is that okay? And they'll look at each other. One of them says yes. All right, great. Is that all right with you, ma'am? And you want to bring in the woman, bro, because, like, there's a lot of relationships where the man's, like, super controlling, you feel what I'm saying? Or, like, maybe they got, like, really controlling parents back when they was kids, and so they feel like they have no control. And so a simple question of, is that okay with you, ma'am? Or is that okay with you, brother? You know what I'm saying? Like, you want both parties are involved, especially if they have kids. You have no idea what the conflict relationship is. You feel what I'm saying? You don't know if they're even. You don't know if one person's like super in charge and like the other person's like, God damn, I have to be submissive, walk on eggshells kind of shit. You have no idea what kind of relationship. And so that's why it's really important when you're in sales that you give people the choice to talk. You allow them to open up because it like so many times when people are in my store, they just feel so comfortable and they love coming to the business because they get to talk freely in my shop and they get to be really open. And we ask them really nice, like we ask them the right questions so that we can find the right answers for them. So you just need to gauge that 80-20 rule, and you do it in the moment when you're talking to the customer. And you'll first start counting in your head after you say a sentence. That was 9 words. And the customer responds with, yes. Fuck. Now I'm at 90-10. How did I get here? And the more you practice it, the better you'll get. And so some of the best ways to answer a question is with as little words as possible. And it's really powerful. Even dead silence, just like that. It's really powerful. When you drop a prize, the first one to talk loses. So when you tell the customer, yes, sir, this bong is only $460 today. And customer says, damn, that's it? It's probably sold. You know what I'm saying? This car is only $12,995 with no interest finance today. Customer says, really? So what's my monthly payments looking like? That's called a closing question. That's called a buying question. You feel what I'm saying? That's a buying question. That's not a closing question. The closing statement was, it's this price today. That's a closing statement. The buying question is, what's my total out the door monthly? Yeah, I want this car. And then the other sales guy says, hey, are we done with this vehicle? I got someone else coming and want to test drive it. They're driving out here from Rammermer. And that's called a change of face. That's where a motherfucker comes in with the backbone. He's like, hey, bro, if you ain't buying it, we got someone else buying it. And that's kind of a pressure sell right there, because then that puts the person in the spot. No, I'm buying it. I'm buying it. No, I'm buying it. You tell them to stay their ass home and you get them into a different vehicle, because that vehicle is mine. I'm buying it. And that's like the whole COVID thing that they're doing right now, where like, oh, we're just gonna go give you guys are too rich Americans. Pfft, you guys don't need the vaccine. We're gonna give it to the poor countries. All the poor countries are gonna get it, and that's gonna make like the idiots that buy into that shit. Oh wait, they're gonna get it, and we don't get it anymore? No, I'm American. I need it first. Fuck the poor countries. They don't even have clean water. They don't deserve the fucking vaccine. I deserve the vaccine. It's fucking retards. If you buy into that shit, man, seriously, stop. Stop it. Just stop. Read and pay attention. Don't be impulsive on fucking fear propaganda. It's crazy. Just read and pay attention. All you got to do. Fauci is calling Rand Paul an idiot because he doesn't have a PhD. Fuck. I wish I screen recorded that video so I could put it up. So Rand Paul was grilling Fauci for the gain of function research, and Fauci's saying it's not gain of function because he doesn't know how to read documents that was written by PhDs, even though they're calling it gain of function. It's just like, it's absolutely batshit crazy. There's too much conflict and lies involved with all this. So I personally am not getting the vaccine until there's fucking truth. Cause I don't buy shit from liars. You feel what I'm saying? I don't fuck with liars. Neither should you, because like our current president plagiarized his entire way through college, and he plagiarized his way through his political career. So I don't know, just something to think about. Research it. You got a fucking cell phone. Google that shit. So, where was I going? 80-20. You'll get better. The more you practice it, you will get better. Just keep counting it in your head. After each sentence is done, you just speak out your sentence. You can do it in front of the fucking mirror, like the most common objections or most common retorts and shit. Go based off of customers that you've had in the past and just like replay that in your brain and just like replay the whole scenario. Like, that's what I do. I replay my day when I'm going to bed. I literally replay my day from when I woke up to when I fell asleep. And I see what I did right and what I did wrong and what I would change if I was back in that situation, so I can train my brain on a future scenario of the same sort. And it's really healthy, and it builds like really strong like mental health. Like it's really cool. And then it also helps with creativity, because the way that I remember is everything's in like video, comic book, picture format. So when I'm going back through, I see things like in a little frame of like a flip book movie. You know what I'm saying? And it's like a character moving and doing shit. And then I'll see still images and like a bunch of different, I don't know. It's weird, man. I don't know if it's like photography memory or whatever, but like, I don't think it is. But it's like a little comic book movie. It's pretty sweet. And it's, I don't know. It's a good way to live. Always going back and replaying moments and reliving events in your brain, so you can just see how you can do it different if you're put in the same situation. It's like basketball players, NBA, they shoot without a ball in their hand. They just do it all in their brain before they even take the shot. They're shooting like 100, 200 times in their head before they even shoot, so that they can do it in reality. Boo! That is it for today. We'll have more sales talk in the future. I appreciate you guys coming out, tuning in. Much love, everyone. Be sure to stop by my shop if you haven't already online. I got my new shirts out. And then once we're in the store doing the podcast, man, we're going to have some special guests. doing some cool things with just your average citizen. Mental health is really fucking important. Whatever you do, take care of that brain. Same way you take care of that body, baby. You know what I'm saying? You just fucking bust out them guns. You get that shit, little chest. Get that little chest big. Don't forget your legs. All round. All roundedness is what you want. You don't want to be like a big ass dude with like pinky legs. You know what I'm saying? Little weirdos. Keep being awesome, everyone. Much love, and stay healthy. Stay safe.